Right, unpopular gaming opinions. Everyone's got unpopular gaming opinions. I'm gonna chuck one out here right now. Tetris is shite. Let's get that out of the way right now. Tetris is not a good game.
Whoa.
Straight out the gate.
It's everyone's like, oh, it's the best game of all time. It's ultimate. Ultimate. It's just the perfect game. It's not. It's boring.
You're talking about a game that's sold over 400 million units here, Mike, and you're just like completely. It's the most sold game ever.
My counter argument to that is a lot of people went to watch the Transformers movies in the cinemas, and I mean they're bad.
It's just because it's an old game, though. It's just because it's an old game, and if you were if you're a man of that time, from that era, if you were a guy like myself
like
who played that game in its heyday, when it was an awesome game. Compared with all the other games around it. Today, obviously, it's going to be shit next to all the fucking Witcher 3s and all the other thing that everyone creams themselves over these days. Tetris, though, it's a building block of the industry, we could say.
Is that why Tetris falls down to you? That's not a pun, by the way. But it's just because some other games, like Baldur's Gate and Legend of Zelda, you can play them now and they still got a story and stuff. Tetris is just... I mean, I've not played the DLC or any of the Season Pass stuff for Tetris, but base game Tetris, from what I remember, it was just blocks. Like, how I think of Tetris now is it's a pretty fun game, but like think about how the Nintendo Switch, you've got like Skyrim and you can put all these games on a portable device. I think if I could pick a game for a long car journey, it wouldn't be Tetris.
Yeah,
after
exactly.
10 minutes, I'd be like,
everyone's missing the point here. This is a game of its time. It's not an awesome game now. I'm not saying it is, but to dismiss it just because it's old, you could dismiss many old movies just because they were. Because if you compare them with today's movies, they are shite, objectively shite today. But in their times, the movies were fucking groundbreaking. They were awesome, and they were special. So you can't dismiss it just because it's old, because you didn't appreciate it, because you weren't in that time, you weren't part of that time and experiencing gaming.
I think that's the best way to dismiss something, because I can't.
That's old.
Yeah, it's old. No, I mean, yeah, I can see what you're saying, but I don't know, because there's older games that I've played that seem timeless, and this doesn't. This
seems boring and shit.
How is Tetris not timeless? You guys are talking shit now.
I even think.
How is it not timeless?
I always think it's sepia.
It honestly doesn't change. It's like it doesn't need updating.
I think of the colour sepia. You know, the Game Boy screen. Because that's when I played it.
Yeah.
So
everything about that. Yeah, just kind of greenish.
Isn't the beauty of Tetris in its simplicity though?
Right. Next point. Liam, what's
someone
Liam straight from the Zen garden
comes up with a decent point. Let's move on.
Liam, unpopular opinion. Come on.
Right, here's a belter. 3D Sonic is better than 2D Sonic.
Yeah, I think all Sonic is shite. So fine. I'm with you there. Why not? I might as well fly the flag with you.
I think you're amongst friends here. I agree.
I guess so.
I actually think Sonic Adventure Battle 2 is the best Sonic ever, and that's 3D. That's so good. It's better than all the other 2D Sonics put together.
Right. Well, so explain yourself, Liam, to big fans of 2D Sonic.
So 2D Sonic is, a lot of people played it when they were kids, and they love it. They have fond memories. It's very nostalgic for them, but mechanically they're just boring.
Yeah.
I know the common argument, you just go right in Sonic, and people get really annoyed when you say that. But at least
because it's accurate.
But at least 3D Sonic, they added new characters, platforming. They tried to copy
stuff to do basically.
Yeah, they tried to copy Mario and that stuff, and it was just better.
Gaz has got something to say.
I mean, these two opinions, are they unpopular? They're not unpopular. They're just, they're current. They're fucking. They're just sounds. They're just opinions of your fucking age group.
No, I don't think. I don't think
premise of the video.
No, but no. Let's talk about fucking current games. Let's talk about current unpopular games.
All right,
These are all old
Gaz.
fucking games.
Unpopular opinion, Gaz.
The fucking Nintendo, right? Nintendo.
Let's talk about new games. Mario. Come on, let's talk about Mario.
Well, Mario Odyssey. Mario Odyssey, one of the most recent games. Is that what you're talking about there, Joe?
How is it?
Super Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, two Nintendo most highly rated games of this year, are both poor examples of their genre.
Wow.
Actually, that's incorrect. Breath of the Wild is a poor example of its genre. Mario Odyssey is a great example of its genre, although they're both kids' games and they're so overrated. They're so overrated.
Okay.
This video just got real.
Yeah.
current games. I'm not talking, it's shit because it's old. I'm talking fucking current games that are actually shit because I'm not a child and I want an adult game to play.
Well, I'm not saying Tetris is shit because it's old. I'm saying it's a shit and old. That's the
it's shit.
All right, Jake, you're good. Come on, give us some opinions.
Okay.
Nobody wants to dispute.
Valve have only made 2 good games.
If that. All right, what are they?
Half-Life 2.
Yeah.
Portal 1. That's all Valve are bringing to the tank.
Wow. What about Left 4 Dead?
No.
No?
No.
Flat no. Portal 2?
No.
Portal harder?
No, definitely not. Team Fortress? No. CSGO? Shit, overrated. Nah. Valve are just... Valve. I actually just think Valve are just poor. I don't really... Steam was cool, but...
This is what I'm talking about. This is it, Jake.
You know, people like to talk about Half-Life and Half-Life 2 as they were the great... Well, Half-Life 2 is
because Half-Life 1 is shit, knowingly.
And this was actually what I was trying to remember as something I'd said a couple of days ago as an unpopular opinion. Half-Life 2 being considered the greatest game of all time is an absolute joke. So I'm with you there, Jake. I'm with you. Half-Life 2 is good.
It's a good game, isn't it? It is quite good.
But it's not the best game ever made. And Portal 1 being better than Portal 2, though, I don't know. You won't have to explain yourself there.
Well, just like Portal 2 is just like, let's get Portal 1 and make it shitty co-op and add fucking Stephen Merchant. Get Stephen Merchant and no.
You add Stephen Merchant to anything, you make it better.
GLaDOS was quite a quirky character from the first one. Let's drag her out.
Yeah.
I don't care about it. Go away, Valve. And do you know what? Dota 2 is shit as well while we're at it. In fact, all MOBA games are shit. League of Legends, shit. Yeah. Heroes of New Earth, shit. And here's probably a really unpopular opinion. I think they're quite damaging for the games industry as a whole. They popularised the whole paywall-y stuff, loot boxy stuff, RNG stuff, loads of addiction. It does a lot of damage to the games industry. It makes you look stupid. It's just, all MOBAs
bad
are
strategy games to me. They're just bad strategy games. But what about, all right, Liam, Gareth, any counterpoint here to Valve is generally not good?
I mean, I like Team Fortress 2 and Left 4 Dead. I thought they were very good games. I've put quite a few dozen hours into both of them.
Yeah, I like Left 4 Dead a little bit. Jake's just being a dick, if you ask me. It's Left 4 Dead's a decent co-op game.
It's a very good co-op game.
Good kind of designed around playing with others in a cooperative way, which is not many games do. Well, not enough games do that, if you ask me anyway. All right, another unpopular opinion. Naughty Dog is a vastly overrated game developer. They don't make good games. Uncharted is a game about climbing.
They don't make good games.
Uncharted is a game about climbing and very little else. Mass murder and climbing. Nathan Drake is a dick. I don't understand how he's as popular a character as he is. He's a bad Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones had like this purity to him and the thought of preservation and stuff, where you just kind of feel like Nathan Drake is just doing this stuff because it's awesome. He's not going like, we need to preserve this artifacts and keep it away from the Nazis. He's just going, I want that thing. And
it's just greed, It's just
motivated
by his...
Last of Us is good. Last of Us is a very good game.
But you just said they don't make good games, but now you're saying Last of Us is
generally speaking, Last of Us is an anomaly to me. Crash Bandicoot is just the same as Sonic, just run forward and jump. And you'll get to the end.
Don't be dissing my old games again, Mike. Fuck.
Okay, back to the
Stay off my old games.
And that Last of Us 2 trailer was fucking shite. That's me. That's me done a Naughty Dog.
Jack and Daxter didn't even get a look in.
Yeah,
it's
Jack and
Daxter.
Great.
Oh my god, I totally forgot about Jack and Daxter. That's 2 good games that they've made. Last of Us 2 and Jack and Daxter. Right, that's Naughty Dog done. Liam?
Fallout 3 and New Vegas are better than Morrowind and Oblivion.
Oh
my god.
Okay, explain yourself.
Yeah. So when I first played Morrowind, I was like, I don't know, it's like, what's this? It's shit. It's
Jake's
that's not even. Oh no!
It's very clunky. It's very.
Jake's closing his eyes.
Awful. I just think it's not a very good RPG as things go.
Do you know what? It's. I can see where you're coming from, and I think that's kind of.
Not you as well.
No. With Morrowind and those, if you go back to those games, not at the time of release, they're kind of like they did like this sandbox thing, which was awesome, but not. That's basically their one party trick. It's like go out and be who you want, but the combat isn't great. Like the stealth is a little bit stupid. The characters don't look that good. But
what are you talking about?
At it. I'm talking about Morrowind.
They're just attacking old games, Jake, aren't they? They're just attacking all the old games because the new games are shinier. That's all this conversation is. Old games are shit. Let's just rename this video. Old games are shit.
On the flip side, with Oblivion, all those things are still true of Oblivion. The characters look like fucking roast potatoes in Oblivion, but I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved getting the sword and the shield and being like, oh my god, these are in my hands and I can just roam around and do what I want. I can get a horse, I can get a house, I can do whatever quest I want in any order and roam. The whole fantasy world is open for me to explore. So that's what the selling points of the Elder Scrolls series are. But what makes Fallout better?
Just mechanically, they are better. I think the setting is better. To me, Morrowind and Oblivion are just kind of like generic high fantasy sort of thing. High elves and stuff like that. Whereas Fallout at least has some like interesting lore to the series. There's like all the different factions.
Jake, for those at home, is just shaking his head, and he has been for the past couple of minutes.
Yeah,
keep going.
Mechanically, they're better. The gameplay's better. Just they're better RPGs. I think there's more opportunity for role playing in Fallout 3 and New Vegas compared to Morrowind and Oblivion, where you're like the savior of the realm. At least like in Fallout, you can like be a good guy, or you can just go around being a ruthless bandit if you want.
That's something that you certainly have to agree with there, Gaz. Just the ability to be an arsehole.
I role play an arsehole all the time in real life, so I appreciate that option. Another unpopular opinion before Jake gets to blow his lid is the Fable series. Absolute
oh my god!
Absolute
my god!
What
is it? That's it. Fuck it, I'm out.
The Fable. I mean, I've not even enjoyed one single moment of playing the Fable game.
Well, this is very upsetting.
So shove that down your pipes, you snobs.
Okay, Jake.
I don't know what I can do to stop that. Okay.
This is a lot more emotionally damaging than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I know. I feel like destroyed. All right. Well, here's one that I think I've touched on before. BioShock as a series is wank.
Yeah, you're right about a lot of things, Jake, but you're wrong about this.
That is objectively wrong.
You're wrong about this.
Well, BioShock,
no, he's correct. He's right. He's absolutely right.
BioShock is just quite shit.
He is correct.
It's really overrated. It suffers from stylistic overhaul syndrome, where it's like we've got quite a shit mechanic, but the fighting mechanics are quite shit, but we'll make it quirky, like you get.
I'm sorry, I'm not taking the fighting mechanics are quite shit in BioShock for someone who's avidly defending Morrowind and Oblivion.
The thing about Morrowind and Oblivion is that they've had like years less.
What you need to understand is that they came out.
As for BioShock, though, it's like BioShock 1, right? It's got quite an okay twist, but it suffers from a similar thing that Fallout deals with, where its color palette is dog shit brown, gunmetal grey, rusty spoon color, blood, and it's just drab and dull. It's moist. It's got a pretty cool twist. BioShock 1, BioShock Infinite, not so much. But there we go. That's probably. I think that's my most unpopular one. I can kind of.
There's no room for regret.
I can almost see.
This is your naughty dog. This is
your
it.
That's the big one, isn't it? That's like sometimes you think, oof, I really am pushing it. BioShock is me pushing it. That's like my least favourite game series.
Well, that's what this video is all about. I mean, it's called Unpopular Opinions.
It's like kind of like a bonding exercise.
It's how to alienate your viewership is what it is. It's completely alienating. Every single one of the people still listening are on the verge of just switching off.
This is a spring clean.
The rest of it,
there's something for everybody.
I'm going to alienate a few more now. I think Bethesda are an awesome company, and I think they produce some of the best games throughout the industry's even seen.
I like pretty much everything.
It's popular not to like them now, though. That's the thing. It's like, why are you hating on them? Right, they did the Creation Club thing. That's a bit shitty.
It's the clunkiness, isn't it? And the
that's the thing. I never realised. I honestly never realised. That was a big shock for me. Whenever I was watching like videos on Oblivion and stuff like that, I always see these comments, typical Bethesda game, dead buggy. I was like, oh, people don't like it. And yeah, as time goes on, every Bethesda game, typical Bethesda game.
You're a bit numb to it. You're not looking at the jank and stuff. You're just looking at the world, and you're being in the world, and you're invested in this amazing sandbox kind of experience that you've got. And that's why you're not thinking about, the characters aren't animated properly and whatever. You just kind
of like the people that have been playing Assassin's Creed Origins this week, and then the frame rates have been dropped, and they've been going, this is literally unplayable.
Yeah, I literally cannot fire a bow and arrow with more distances like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, anyone else get any more unpopular opinions? I got one more that I can throw out there, but I'm happy for anyone else to go first.
Sit off the band.
All right. Knights of the Old Republic 2 is better than Knights of the Old Republic 1.
Is that unpopular?
Yes,
I agree with that.
Some people say Knights of the Republic 2 is actually terrible. People hate it because there's no ending and all this, but I fucking love it. I love that it's darker. It's just got a totally different tone. It's just everything that BioWare did well with Knights of the Old Republic, but better, and with better kind of themes, or not better themes, but just more interesting themes and a lot more grey area ambiguity. And Obsidian just did an all-around better job than BioWare did, I think. And
it's really funny how the world changes like that, because I think of stuff like that being unpopular, because I remember that would be an unpopular opinion at the time. It's like when you guys say Final Fantasy VII isn't the best, I'm like, yeah, you and what army? And then I remember, actually, when I look at lists of Final Fantasy games ranked, 7 is like never number 1. Fuck me, who knew?
About that.
Well, the way the world's gone, eh?
Seamlessly link into JRPGs. I think all Japanese games, most Japanese games are fucking boring. They limit your freedom so much. I appreciate my sandbox. I appreciate my choices. Choices is what makes games great, which is why I like Bethesda games. Right, you got freedom of choice. Yep. Sandbox games, Mount and Blade. You can do what you want at any time. Okay, JRPGs, you get railroaded so often, and this is one of the main criticisms I have of the modern cards, right? You land on the Omaha Beach in the COD World War II, and you get so many like cutscenes. It's like a film where you're just like you're the protagonist in the film, and you get taken out of the immersion where you're free to go about and do what you want, just because you've got to look at this dead body, whatever.
Look at this explosion that we've animated, isn't it? It's just all that.
Okay. Resident Evil 7, exactly the same. It's like it railroads you. It's like, give me some freedom. I mean, every single Japanese game I play, I'm like half an hour in thinking, let me fucking out of this cage you put me in.
Yeah, I know. So you feel like you're the main character in a very, very scripted experience.
There's no freedom.
I can see that. So how do we?
And we haven't even touched on The Witcher being one of the most overrated games that I've played. I mean, some of the people. I mean, obviously this is unpopular opinions. This is the reason. I mean, The Witcher 3 is.
I love the way you said that. Then people can't see what's going on, but that sounded like you were trying to like shush us all down to saying, "Get back in your seats, lads.
Simmer down.
This is what we're doing. This is all part.
Friendly reminder. I'm not here to start a fight.
Unpopular opinion. It's just, I don't know. It's just boring. I mean, I just didn't engage with the leveling up system. The main character Geralt, he's just boring. There's no character to it.
Well, I don't feel as personally hurt by that as Fable, and I'll tell you why. Because The Witcher does get like this, it's like stratospheric levels of like, this is an untouchable game. It is perfect on the internet. Where that's not
where
true.
It's almost getting to the point where I would say it's overrated, which is a shame because I fucking love the game.
Not because of the game, because of the fandom and discussion around the game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like they've never played an RPG before, and I know this is going to be the most unpopular opinion all week.
This is why
this isn't a direct attack to any of our views, but I think a lot of the people just need to admit it's just their first RPG, innit? It's your first time playing a proper RPG, that's why I like it so much. Because if you played the proper RPG before it, there's no way you can play that and say that's the deepest system. I've seen people say, fair enough if you like it the most, but by saying it's the deepest system, the best combat is just objective. It's not. It's just not.
I believe Skyrim is better than The Witcher 3.
Well, so does the Independent newspaper, and they can only give it 4 stars.
I mean, but then again, this is my unpopular opinion. Like, not a lot of people would agree with it.
Well, it's about your experience with it, isn't it? And I can totally see that.
It's a better game. I don't think it's because of my experience with it. I think it's a better game. I think it's the combat. There's more choice to the combat. There's more choice to the leveling up system. It just feels like I've got more. It's an open world sandbox. It's Skyrim. You can do
it's your adventure.
You can go wherever you want. Exactly.
Yeah.
A named protagonist is it's a lot better to experience being him than it is being Geralt.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jake, you said you don't want to feel like you're directly attacking any kind of viewers, but I think this entire video has been a direct attack on our audience, and that's fine. I think that's
remember, if you dislike the video, then to hit the dislike button. There's also the unsubscribe button.
It took us
a year to amass these quarter of a million subscribers, and only like 20 minutes to get rid of them all.
Just give us this 20 minutes, all right, guys. This was ours, all right. Thanks for watching and all that.
See you next time.
Have a great Christmas.